The unholy trinity, unmasking the real stories behind vampires, werewolves, and zombies. For centuries, they have haunted our nightmares and captivated our imaginations: vampires, werewolves, and zombies. These creatures of the night are often dismissed as mere fantasy, figments of overactive imaginations. But their enduring popularity stems from something far deeper: the dark, fertile ground of folklore, mythology, and the ever-shifting sands of cultural anxieties. While modern interpretations often portray them as fantastical figures of horror and allure, their origins reveal a complex tapestry of human fears, societal anxieties, and the eternal struggle against the unknown. Join us as we delve into the real stories behind these iconic monsters, unearthing the truths hidden beneath layers of myth and legend. The vampire, with its thirst for blood and eternal existence, holds a unique place in the pantheon of monsters. Its history is long and varied, stretching back into the mists of time. The modern vampire, however, is a relatively recent invention, solidifying its place in popular culture only in the 18th century. The concept of blood-drinking demons and creatures that prey on the living can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamian and Greek myths. These early precursors to the vampire were often depicted as spirits or deities who drained the life force from their victims. They were harbingers of disease and death, embodiments of the fears that plagued early civilizations. The modern vampire as we know it began to take shape during the 18th century, fueled by a vampire craze that swept across Europe. This hysteria was often sparked by outbreaks of disease, such as tuberculosis, and the common practice of premature burials. In a time before modern medicine, the line between life and death was often blurred, leading to widespread panic and superstition. The lack of scientific understanding surrounding decomposition and disease further fueled the belief in the undead. Reports of corpses that appeared remarkably preserved, or even seemed to have moved in their coffins, were interpreted as evidence of vampirism. This fear was compounded by the social and religious anxieties of the time. The vampire's enduring appeal lies in its ability to tap into some of our most primal fears. The fear of the unknown, the fear of death, and the allure of immortality all contribute to the vampire's mystique. It represents a transgression of the natural order, a defiance of mortality that both terrifies and fascinates us. The vampire also embodies a certain forbidden desire, a hunger that cannot be quenched. This aspect of the vampire myth has been explored in countless works of literature and film, often with a focus on the seductive and dangerous nature of the creature. Bram Stoker's Dracula, published in 1897, cemented the image of the vampire in the popular imagination. Stoker's Dracula was a seductive, aristocratic figure, forever bound to the night and driven by an insatiable thirst for blood. This portrayal of the vampire as a creature of both power and darkness has influenced countless subsequent interpretations. Dracula's castle, perched high in the Carpathian Mountains, became the archetypal vampire lair, a symbol of isolation and ancient evil. The novel also explored themes of sexuality, repression, and the clash between tradition and modernity, further contributing to its enduring appeal. The werewolf, a creature that embodies the primal fear of losing control, has stalked the shadows of folklore for centuries. Unlike the vampire, which often represents a foreign or external threat, the werewolf represents a danger that lurks within ourselves. It is the beast within, waiting to be unleashed. Ancient European folklore is rife with tales of men who could transform into wolves, often through witchcraft, curses, or demonic possession. These early werewolves were often depicted as savage and uncontrollable, driven by a bloodlust that consumed their humanity. The transformation itself was often seen as a punishment or a sign of moral corruption. The werewolf embodies the duality of human nature, the constant struggle between civilization and savagery. It represents the dark side of our personalities, the impulses and desires that we often try to suppress. The transformation into a wolf is a metaphor for the loss of control, the surrender to our basest instincts. The full moon is intrinsically linked to the werewolf myth, a symbol of cyclical change and the unknown. Its presence triggers the transformation, unleashing the beast within. The moon's association with madness and the subconscious further reinforces the werewolf's connection to the darker aspects of human nature. The werewolf serves as a cautionary tale, reflecting societal anxieties about social order, moral decay, and the dangers of unchecked desires. It warns against the consequences of succumbing to our primal urges, the potential for violence and destruction that lies dormant within us all. The werewolf is a reminder that even the most civilized among us are capable of monstrous acts. The zombie, a more recent addition to the monster pantheon, has risen to prominence in the 20th and 21st centuries. Unlike vampires and werewolves, which have roots in ancient folklore, the modern zombie is largely a product of the anxieties of the modern world. It represents the fear of societal collapse, the loss of individuality, and the overwhelming power of the collective. The concept of the zombie has its roots in Haitian Vodou, where it refers to a person who has been reanimated from the dead through magical means. In Vodou tradition, zombies are not necessarily mindless or flesh-eating, they are often used as forced labor, their will and autonomy stripped away by the sorcerer who controls them. The modern zombie, as popularized in film and literature, emerged during the Cold War era, a time of widespread fear and uncertainty. The threat of nuclear annihilation, the rise of totalitarian regimes, and the growing sense of alienation all contributed to the zombie's appeal as a symbol of societal breakdown. The zombie apocalypse became a metaphor for the end of the world as we know it. The fear of biological warfare also played a significant role in the development of the modern zombie myth. The idea that a virus or other biological agent could reanimate the dead and turn them into mindless killing machines tapped into deep-seated anxieties about scientific progress and the potential for human self-destruction. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, released in 1968, revolutionized the zombie genre and established many of the tropes that are still prevalent today. Romero's zombies were mindless, flesh-eating hordes, driven by an insatiable hunger and posing a constant threat to humanity's survival. The film's low-budget aesthetic and unflinching depiction of violence further contributed to its impact. Romero's zombies were not just monsters, they were also a reflection of the social and political turmoil of the late 1960s. The film explored themes of racism, social inequality, and the breakdown of authority, making it a powerful commentary on the state of American society. The zombie embodies a range of fears, including the fear of the other, the fear of loss of control, and the fear of the breakdown of social structures. The zombie horde represents a faceless, relentless enemy that cannot be reasoned with or negotiated with. It is a symbol of the overwhelming power of the collective, the loss of individuality in the face of a global crisis. The zombie also represents the fear of death itself, the ultimate loss of control. The reanimated corpse is a grotesque reminder of our own mortality, a symbol of the decay and decomposition that awaits us all. The zombie apocalypse is a nightmare scenario in which death is no longer the end, but rather a terrifying new beginning. Vampires, werewolves, and zombies continue to haunt our imaginations because they tap into fundamental human fears and anxieties. They are reflections of our mortality, our instincts, and our deepest concerns about the world around us. Their continued presence in popular culture ensures that they will continue to evolve and adapt, reflecting the changing landscape of human fears and desires. As long as we fear the unknown, the darkness within ourselves, and the potential for societal collapse, these creatures of the night will continue to stalk the shadows of our minds, reminding us of the monsters that lurk both outside and within. They are the unholy trinity of our fears, forever bound to our collective consciousness.